But there are 7 major candidates competing in Iowa today, 6 Republicans and President Barack Obama, who will address the Democratic caucuses by live feed coming up tonight. The president, though freshly back from Hawaii, already warming up for the general election fight as the GOP unleashes new attack ads on the president today. Take a look.
Years from now, you'll be able to look back with pride and say that this was the moment when it all began.
Joining us now, former Ohio Governor Ted Strickland and Republican communications strategist J.P. Frere. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining me this morning. J.P., I want to start with you. Today's new GOP ad uses the president's talent for addressing crowds against him, literally alleging that he made quite a few promises to America that he didn't keep. What's your take, though, on the Republicans starting the general election season before even having a nominee? Or is the strategy here to make Obama his own worst enemy?
Well, a lot of the discussion centering on the nomination debate is who's going to be best able to take on the president. And as those people are making the cases, it's important to keep in mind what they are running against, which is a president who has taken every opportunity to get out in front of every hallmark piece of legislation he has pushed through, and talking about his failed record and contrasting it to what they can accomplish. Now, Mitt Romney, a former governor of Massachusetts, has certainly done a lot of things that are, of course, not pleasing to a lot of Republicans, but on the other hand, he does have a record, and a record that he's been more or less proud of, and Newt Gingrich and other candidates as well. So I think it's important to keep in mind who they're running against, what this nomination fight is about, which is making sure that the incumbent doesn't stay in place.
Governor Strickland, tomorrow the president's going to be making his 17th visit to your state, Ohio, to talk about the economy, but a new Quinnipiac poll shows the majority of Ohio would favor a Republican nominee over Obama. Romney and Gingrich both with 43% to Obama's 42%. So Ohio went to Obama in 2008. So in your estimation, how critical is it to him this time around?
Well, I think President Obama will win Ohio again. He saved the auto industry. That's critical to Ohio. He kept us from sliding into a deep depression. He is pushing jobs and job creation while his opponents are fighting among themselves. I agree with Newt Gingrich when he said about Mr. Romney, if someone will lie to you to become president, he'll lie to you after he becomes president. Neither of these candidates, Gingrich or Romney or any of the others, quite frankly, have been able to get more than about 25% support from their own base. And so it's going to be a long campaign. Ohio will be a critical part of that campaign, but I think President Obama will win Ohio again. And he'll do so because he is focusing on job creation while the others are pursuing policies that literally brought us to the condition that we face today.
Mitt Romney has been relentless against the president, and on the Today Show earlier, Savannah Guthrie asked him if he has what it takes to be commander-in-chief. Take a listen to this.
Economy, a high unemployment rate.
Working folks who are struggling to remain in their homes.
Relatively low approval numbers.
Struggling to be able to get back to work.
Things are not going in the right direction.
Guys, we played the wrong sound there. Do we have the right clip for everybody?
Talking about President Obama, it seems to me that the primary argument you make against him is that he lacked experience when he took office. In terms of national security experience, what would you cite to say that you are prepared to be commander-in-chief?
From a foreign policy standpoint, I've worked in multiple countries around the world, competing with American businesses to make them more successful. I've been in scores of countries.
How's that national security experience?
Let me continue. In addition, I worked in the Olympics, and at the Olympics, I negotiated with people around the world. I have not led the Department of Defense. No one is commander-in-chief until they're commander-in-chief.
So, JP, can Romney credibly keep attacking the president on foreign policy given his own lack of experience? Should he just stick to the economy, basically?
Well, foreign policy involves things other than simply national security. For example, when you're governor of a state, as Governor Strickland well knows, you lead trade delegations. You entertain trade delegations. And, the experience that Governor Romney cited, I think, is also important. But we do need to keep in mind that when we're talking about records, when we're talking about lying to the American people, Governor Romney had hit it on the head, that President Obama made a bunch of promises. He made a bunch of speeches where he said that he would do something. He wasn't able to fulfill it. ballot, and now he's talking about needing a second term to get those things done, and that's a big problem for him.
Governor, is the former governor of Massachusetts making a mistake by trying to go after President Obama on foreign policy as opposed to highlighting failures in the economy?
Well, I think so. I mean, President Obama led the effort to kill Osama bin Laden, our greatest enemy. He was instrumental in the effort to get rid of the leader of Libya, who had killed our citizens. He has a very, very stellar foreign policy record. He is a strong supporter of Israel. He has improved our standing in the eyes of people around the world. And so I think President Obama's foreign policy has been a success, and I think those who would accuse him of being a weak leader in terms of national security and foreign policy simply are not being honest with this president's really stellar record when it comes to protecting our country, improving our standing in the world, and fighting despotism around the world.
Former Ohio Governor Ted Strickland, J.P. Frere, thank you, gentlemen, for your time this morning. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas.
I want to show everybody live pictures from Des Moines from a Rock the Caucus event. It's a chance to